Thank you for tuning in to another edition of the VULCAN Report. This end-of-day report is for trading on Monday, February the 13th, 2017. Looking quickly here at a chart of DGLD. On this weekly chart, you can see that the market is basically taking a breather today after gapping up on the open. Taking a look at the daily chart, you can see here that there are a few gaps that need to be attended to. And so the market's basically trying to deal with it. And that's the gap here that was created on the 2nd of February. So the market pretty much almost got there. I think we have a little bit more upside to go first. You can see we're getting this first resistance level right here, right there touching it. But we're still not out of the question of taking out the 56.62 resistance. So it may be a work in progress. It may have to work its way up to dealing with this with the gap that was created here. So once it's filled, then we'll see where we go from there. But right now, looks like the market still has another $2 to the upside left in it to go before we see any kind of significant pullback. So we'll be watching gold to see what it does in the next coming days. The week is still young. We're just starting out, so anything is possible. We're not going to rule out anything just yet. I just know that the current trajectory does appear to be somewhat bullish. All right, moving right along. Let's take a look at the UGLD. All right, looking at UGLD, you can see here that we basically filled this gap here with today's bar. All right, so we did fill that down gap, so that's pretty much closed off now. But you still got this one here to contend with, so to speak. So we could have another move lower first to the support line before recovering. If you take a look at the gold futures on this one here, you can see we're still moving in a consolidated fashion in and out of the Kumo cloud, and it's kind of elongating now here. So we'll have to wait and see what is going to become of it. You can't take out the 1250. It's having a problem with it, but you still can't rule out another run to it. But you also can't rule out another run back down here to test support either. It's been kind of resilient. You just don't want to see a close below 1216 and 1206 respectively. That's where your major supports are. A close below 1216 on the daily chart would set the stage to test that 1206. And if the 1206 is taken out, then we'll definitely be closing below 1200. And that's your strong psychological support. So you only have 3 more chances, 1216, 1206, and 1200 respectively. We'll see what happens. But we can't take our eyes off of it because you never know what can occur. Looking at Nugget, pretty much the same story. As you can see, the market came down, dealt with this gap here, and we still have this one here to contend with. So once again, you see that the miners still could withstand some pulling back. Looking at GDX, same thing. We had gaps along the way, back and fills, gaps. So again, we have this here. So it's just up in the air what's going to happen here. GDXJ, same type of story, just moving sideways now. Take a look at the NASDAQ 100. On the future side of things, you can see the market is still powerful. All right, no pullback in sight. Take a look at the QQQ. Same thing, nice and powerful. It's just not showing any sign of weakness whatsoever. Let's take a look now at the long bond. All right, take a look at the long bond. As you can see, it's heading lower in the daily chart, still weak, bouncing off the trend line right here, but looks like it may close below it. A lot of overhead resistance. Got to close above that 152, 153 mark to put it into the downtrend. But even if you do that, look at that, you're still in this enormous Kumo cloud here that goes all the way up to the 156 level. So that's a lot. So this could just move sideways for an extended period of time here. Looking at the bonds. On the cash side of the bond market, you're looking at TLT, same story here. You're just whopping around. And this is a very long Kumo cloud. For the TLT, it doesn't break out until 125. So just a lot of nothing going on right now in the bond market. I think it's just going to calm down and be quiet for a while. Taking a look at the crude oil, look at this. This is a super elongated chart. It just goes on and on and on and on from left to right. Look at this. Just weeks of going absolutely nowhere. You're stuck in a trading range between $52 and $54. That's it. $2 trading range, nothing else. Absolutely nothing going on here. If you want to look at the equity side, look at the cash side of things, ticker symbol DIG. Same thing. Had a huge gap up here, gap up here, and then here we are in the Kumo cloud. You know what's going to happen. Got to back and fill before any serious momentum to the upside can occur. Take a look at UCO, the other cash counterpart of the oil market, and it's looking just like the futures. Full of gaps, gap up, gap down, just going nowhere inside the Kumo cloud. Ticker symbol OIH. Same thing, just gaps, ups and downs within the Kumo cloud. We're going to visit the bottom of this cloud in order to take that out. Could even break back out afterwards, but it's just going to consolidate for a while. It's like the bond market. I don't see that market going anywhere anytime soon. All right, taking a look now at Knack Paddywhack. Knack broke out and went as high as 341. And right now, so far, we're having an inside day. And that's what we had today, an inside day, inside bar. Therefore, tomorrow should be a breakout either to the up or down side. I would throw the hat in the ring and say it should be breaking out. But you know how things go. It'll do the opposite of what you say. So if I say it's going to break out, it'll break down. You know how it goes. But right now, it's still bullish. You're right here above the trend line momentum. So you should be okay. But in case it's not okay and it wants to come down to test the trend line, right here, this is the first one around the 286 level, and then the second one's around the 233 level. But overall, the chart still looks bullish. It still looks nice. It's still powerful. So I don't see any real reason to pull back here. Taking a look at Pretty Ricky. All right, you can see Pretty Ricky today is green on the screen. Kind of an inside day as well. Narrow range. Could see an upside breakout tomorrow toward north of $10, all things being equal. Taking a look at URRE. All right, URRE is bullish the Kumo cloud, and it is moving upside following the steep ramp. The test, we'll see if it could get back up to, over $3. A close above $3 this week would be super bullish and would open the door to a $5 move in the URRE. Let's look at NVIDIA. All right, after a nice run last week, NVIDIA gave up the ghost today. Pretty hefty pullback, pulling back on the close more than $5 to the downside. This sets the stage now for lower prices into tomorrow and the rest of the week. We got 103.41 is the trend line support. Below that, you're heading down there toward 90 bucks, which is the bottom of the Kumo cloud. So this one is looking bearish. All right, taking a look now at dry ships. All right, dry ships. Can't see anything on these charts because it's just so out of sync. So I got to pull up the 4-hour chart. You can see it's been bullish. 1, 2, 3, 4 bars in a row. Wouldn't be surprised to see a red bar tomorrow, but it should, all things being equal, remain bullish and see if we can get outside of the cloud here. A good close above this trend line resistance would set the stage for higher prices north of $7 on the dry ships. Looking at Super Cat, Caterpillar. Pull back over to the daily chart here. All right, got a gap up. We got 2 gaps. I like this chart. I think it's super bullish, but we got to slow down. Slow it down for a minute. We got a gap here that needs to be dealt with, and we got a gap here created today. So with that said, I think a back and fill is going to be in order before we can really take off. Now, can breakaway gaps happen? Can markets just go way up here somewhere and not look back for a while? Of course. But eventually, it's going to come down and deal with these gaps. So take it for what it is and trade cautiously. All right, looking at CCJ. CCJ was a little bit of a surprise today. As you can see here, this upward ramp looks like it wants to run back up toward $12 a share. So that's kind of the trajectory that this is on right now. Very bullish chart. Got a gap here that needs to be dealt with, a wide one. We've entered the gap now. Question is, how much deeper are we going to go up here? Are we going to run toward 12 and fail, or run toward 12 and break out? Enjoy the ride. The jury's still out. Taking a look now at Nugget. No, I did Nugget. Did I do Nugget? Yeah, I did. And I did J-Nug, didn't I? I'll do J-Nug again. I remember doing it. Let's see. All right, on the J-Nug, yeah, it's just sideways, just like the Nugget, just like everything else in this space. I think we'll probably come toward this trend line support before bouncing higher. Got to deal with the gap. Looks like 2 gaps here that need to be dealt with. So, yeah, can't really sound the alarm on it just yet. Looking at JDST. I don't think I pulled this one up, so let's see. All right, JDST is rising off of that support of 1175, that bear market low, and I think it does have the signs that are here that it wants to try to make a run toward that $17 level. So I'm looking for a $5 possible upside potential in the JDST in the coming few days. In the next 3 to 5 days, I think it's possible. All right, looking at ticker symbol CORN, corn, looking at corn. Now, this corn follows the corn futures. So, all things being equal, it does appear to be bullish, and we should stay above $19.71. As long as the market stays above that on the close, this market can remain bullish and possibly get some momentum to the upside out of it. Taking a look at the weekly chart of this, you can see that the market is right there, like it wants to break out above the trend line resistance, but then it's going to be hit with this Kumo cloud, and that's going to cause some problems getting to $21. Let's take a look now at the future counterpart. Let's see here. All right, looking at the corn futures. Okay, this one is taking a while to do anything. Don't know why that is. Let's see. Let's see what we can do here. All right, that's all I can get out of it. So we'll have to go with the equity side because it's not loading. Don't know what the problem is there. Okay. All right, there we go. Here's our corn futures. Okay. All right, this gives a little bit better picture. You can see we're rising off the 314.75 lows. Now we're up to 375. The question will be, can it push and get a close above 380? That will set the stage for a run at 400 on the weekly chart. So the weekly chart is bullish. You just don't want to see a close here around. You don't want to see it drop like below 365 on a close, and you should be good to go on the corn. Okay, so that's ticker symbol CORN, as well as the corn futures contract itself. All right, let's move along. Let's look at NXE. Someone asked me about NXE, New Arizona, or something. Yeah, not getting anything on this. If this is a Canadian stock, that's probably why. If it's not traded on the U.S., good old U.S. of A, that could be a part of why I can't get this to come up. All right, let's see. Let's take a look at GXU. I think this is also. Yeah, I can't pull up anything that's not on an American exchange. Sorry about that, guys. AMZN. All right, let's look at Amazon. Amazon had a big day, up over $9 on the close. You gotta deal with gaps, possible back and fill before moving higher. But look, right now, 900 is definitely the target. This wants to be a $900 stock. That's the way it's acting. That's the complexion of this. This is a weekly chart. If you take a look at the daily chart, it's pretty much the same picture. Bullish on all time frames, as you can see. The market did gap down. We did back and fill, so here we are. All right, this is a strong stock right now. Looking very bullish. And like I said, I think the target here is 900 bucks. And the immediate 860 is in play right now. So we'll see how it gets, what it does once it gets to the 860 range. I think that's what we need. So we're going to need a close above 850 to really set the tone to make that $900 run. All right, and then last but not least, WRN, ticker symbol WRN, Western Copper and Gold Corp. This one's very bullish, taking off here on this daily chart, but we're going to need to back and fill because you got a gap. You got a gap here, so this blue momentum line will probably be violated somewhat. This will probably get to a $1.44, somewhere around there, on a back and fill before taking off to $2. But it looks like $2 is definitely in play for this stock. Taking a look at the weekly chart, you can see that it's very bullish. Has a lot of pent-up energy in it, and I think that a close above the $1.80 would definitely set the stage to get up into 225 range on this stock. All right, today was a long one because it's Monday, so we had a lot to go over. But remember, for those of you who are excuse me, missing out on all these good moves that we are having, do yourself a favor, come on over to pulsewavetrading.com where you can sign up and register for the weekly PulseWave price triggers. Learn how to profit in this algorithmic driven environment. You cannot win on your own. You got to rage against the machine. You got to trade alongside it, know what the algorithms are doing so that you can prosper therein. Algorithms are taking over the markets as you know it. They've taken over equities. They've taken over commodity futures and forex markets. You are at a disadvantage if you are not able to trade the algorithms. Come on over to pulsewavetrading.com and learn how to do so. And remember, bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. So remember to take what you can and give nothing back.